All right, so today we might want to have a couple of blocks and potentially a strap of some sort. Everything is possible without, so yeah, or like something that kind of doubles as block, strap, scarf, books, yeah, any kind of something like that. We're working on splits with back bends today. So front splits. And yeah, the one thing that I wanted to really talk about before we get started is the idea of interoception and how you can feel your own somatic, the internal felt sense of like what's happening in your body and how that can be a huge tool for gaining flexibility. So I just want to kind of tune in for a second. We can, let's sit down. I guess sometimes it's easier to tune in while we're seated. Can you guys see me? Like, let me know if you can't see me while I'm sitting down, because I thought that I positioned it right. Anyways, so let's just go internal for a second. Close our eyes. We'll just take a moment to really feel into the body. Notice what's going on in there. And then notice where you feel like you're sitting in relation to the perception and the perceiving of your soma, your internal felt sense. So like, are you right in the middle of it? Are you perceiving all of it? Are you from like kind of coming from the outside? And see if you can really come from a space of being inside, of feeling into and being present just inside your body. And then we'll notice the interface between the air and your hands. Notice the air on your skin. And so the ability for us to feel where we are in space is called proprioception, and it's really another important piece to be able to gain in flexibility is just becoming more aware of where we are in space, more aware of how we're feeling inside of our bodies. So just kind of a little tune in to those two things. So let's begin with standing on a block. So, and this could be anything. You could stand on some steps or something else, like whatever. And we're just gonna stand on the block, and let's let the outside leg, so the inside arm touches the wall, and then the outside leg swings forward and back. And you can take your hand to the upper thigh and just press your leg back and let it swing. And so here we're attempting to just allow the leg to just relax. Just let it relax and swing. And so we're not engaging really. The standing leg is engaging. And we're just swinging. And breathe. Slow, steady, and smooth. In and out of your nose, if you can, as much as possible. Breathing with rhythmical, continuous breath. Swing that leg forward and back, and just feel your leg relax. Keep your toes lifted, but feel your whole leg relax. And then we'll go for the other side. Standing into the standing leg, so taking all the weight of the body into that standing leg, and then just relaxing through the other leg, the outside leg, letting it swing forward and back. And you can take your hand and help your leg push it back a little bit, right on the top of your thigh, and breathe and smile. Notice the sensations in your hip. Just kind of really feeling in and seeing what is going on here. The more we can be present inside of the body as we're doing these exercises, the more we'll level up. And then block. So palm tree vinyasa. Interlace your fingers, point your palms up to the ceiling, and then come up into releve onto the balls of your feet. So you might be stepping forward or backward, that's okay. Keep trying to come to stillness and keep relaxing your chin down towards your chest while at the same time reaching your hands up towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. And on your next exhale, slowly lower your heels down towards the ground. Inhale, reach your palms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, side bend, opening your upper side ribs. Inhale, coming up to standing, reaching your palms towards the ceiling. Exhale, other side bend, opening, expanding through the upper ribs. Inhale, reach up, stand up, and exhale, twist. Keep both hips pointing forward as you twist and look to one side. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, twist to the other side. Hips point forward. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale, your arms down to horizontal. Inhale, flip your palms over. Exhale, twist into one direction, keeping that hip, both hips pointing forward, especially the one on the side that you're twisting towards. Really push that hip forward. Inhale, back to the front. And exhale to the other side, looking to the side, pushing that hip forward. Inhale to the front. And exhale, arms up overhead. Interlace fingers. Reach your palms towards the ceiling. Inhale. And hinge at your hips. Exhale, forward fold just to horizontal. Super strong legs, a little micro bend in your knees so that you're not hyperextending. And reach through the crown of your head. Reach, reach, reach. We'll take the arms out to airplane arms. Reaching in that horizontal plane. Super strong legs, super strong core, belly button into spine. And then inhale to reach your arms back up overhead. Take another breath, reaching your spine long, reaching your crown forward. And then on your next inhale, reach all the way up to standing, stacking your spine. Plant your palms together. Exhale, drag your hands down your center line and forward fold, hinging at your hips. Reach your hands down towards the ground. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Release into your forward fold. Release, release, release. On your inhale, half lift your spine. Reach the crown of your head forward. And exhale, relax your whole upper body down. 2 more like this. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms in line with ears, little micro bend in your knees, strong legs will rise all the way up to standing. Reach, reach, reach. And then exhale your arms down to your sides. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Straighten out your arms. Woo. Lift those arms up and back as you forward fold. Make sure your knees are pointing forward here. Forward fold, hinging at your hips, lifting your arms. Lift, lift, lift your arms. Let's take another breath here. Lift your arms. And we're rising up to standing while maintaining the lifted arms. Keep your arms really high so that we can go behind the back and either take prayer pose or grab opposite wrists or grab opposite elbows. one of those 3. And then with hips pointing forward, we'll twist to the right and look to the right, keeping those hips pointing forward so you can really feel it in your spine. Inhale back to the front. Exhale, twist the other way, keeping those hips pointing forward. And inhale to the front. Exhale, forward fold. Super strong legs. Inhale, rise all the way back up to standing. Open your chest, look up towards the ceiling. And exhale your arms down by your sides. Wonderful. Palm tree vinyasa. Woohoo! So we'll take some kicks here. Just forward kicks with hands on hips. So kick your leg forward and then lower it back down for 10. Try not to tip your pelvis or bend your knee. Just take your leg up as high as it'll go. And then we go for the other side, keeping a neutral pelvis, super strong standing leg. Breathing slow, steady and smooth, in and out of your nose. And then I like to hands on the wall for this sometimes. Also, you could just have your hands on your hips, but we're gonna releve or arabesque and kick backwards. So kick your leg up and back for 10. Squeeze your glute as you do it. We don't want the back to bend too much, but it's gonna bend a little bit. But if you can keep that engagement in your glute, so other side, 10 of these. We want the gluteus maximus to engage to the max, really feeling it. Awesome, and then shake it out. Shake into your heels, have your whole upper body reverberate, feeling that fractaling energy moving out of your fingertips. Bounce, bounce, bounce. All right, so we'll warm up for splits with the block at the wall. If you have a wall and a block, that's great. If not, this can always be done in regular lunge in the middle of the room with a block or without a block. So I'm gonna put knee on block, and then I'm taking a 90-degree angle with my front leg in whatever lunge position I'm finding. I want that 90 degrees. Usually we kind of sink in first, but we're gonna really focus in on lengthening through the quad, the back quad. So the way that we do that is using posture. So we're gonna tip the pelvic bowl back. So it's like you're pouring a bowl, your cereal bowl, backwards. So imagine your cereal bowl is your pelvic bowl. Tip it back and feel that intense lengthening through your quad. So press, press, pressure, and breathe. Keep on tipping the pelvic bowl and really breathing and feeling in. And then, so introspection, right? Somatic sensing, internal felt sense of the thigh. Feel into the space of your thigh. Just notice what parts of the thigh are feeling stretched, what parts are feeling maybe tender, like is there some energy moving in there? Just noticing. All right, so now we'll take a step forward with the front foot. And now we can tell the pelvic bowl is now tilting forward, yeah? So we're just gonna sink down into that, and we can add a little back bend here, reaching arms up and overhead and then opening through the sternum. If it feels good, you can see about tapping the fingers on the wall behind you. Keep opening through your front body to really distribute the whole back bend throughout the entirety of your spine. We don't want to just have it in one part. Oftentimes it'll just dip into the low back, but we want to really take the bend all the way up the back. Imagine that there's strings tied to your spine, pulling you forward at every layer or at every vertebrae. And then we'll straighten out that front leg and feel the stretch on the hamstring, on the back of the quad, or the back of the calf muscle. Flex your front foot. Inhale to lengthen through the crown of your head. Exhale to fold. Inhale to lengthen, feel a rippling movement starting at your hips, moving all the way up to the top of your head, and then fold on your exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. One more breath like this. And then we'll bend the front knee and reach elbows down towards the ground. So relaxing chest down towards the ground, really, really moving into the hips now. So feeling that depth of the stretch in your hips. Release, release, release. Sensing into the space of your hips. And one more breath. All right, now we're gonna come up onto the hands and take your same side hand as knee that's in front and press your hand into your knee to twist. And breathe. If you'd like to try a little bit deeper of a twist, you could take opposite elbow to knee, press your elbow into your knee. You could even reach back and see about touching the wall with your free arm. Twist and breathe. The twist starts, we like the twist to start from the base of the spine and move all the way up. So the last thing to twist is your neck, and really sink your hips down as you're breathing and twisting here. And then we unravel, untwist, straighten out that front leg. And we're gonna release down, rolling onto the ground and lifting the arms and legs for seaweed. Seaweed. Wiggle your arms and legs up overhead while your back is on the ground. Feel into the sensations here and just kind of notice the difference between the right and the left leg. So you can really feel into those spaces and be in your legs. Be in that imbalance right now, feeling into it. All right, and then we take the other knee to the block. '90-degree angle at the front knee. And press your hips back into the wall, into your heel, pushing your leg into the wall. And now we're gonna tip that pelvic bowl back. Keep pouring your cereal bowl out the backside. Tipping it back and breathing slow, steady, and smooth. And we're finding the edge, right? So really feel into your legs. Be like, can I add a little bit of more? Can I add a little more sensation? Can I add a little bit more pelvic tilt? Tipping the pelvic bowl back, just to add that deep stretch through the quad. So asking yourself what you need and where is your edge. Another breath here. And now we'll step the foot forward and sink your hips down. And we're adding in a back bend here. So we're tipping the pelvic bowl forward now, really grounding into the ground, feeling that connection between the foot and the front foot and the ground, between the knee and the block. And then we add that back bend. And imagine your strings coming from your vertebrae, pulling your whole front body forward and bending your back body. You can see about tapping your fingers on the wall. Lift your chest, lift your sternum, lift your gaze. Up, 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 breathing and gently engaging through your whole body here. Really stable through the legs. And one more breath. And straighten out your front leg, half monkey. And we're feeling the depth of the stretch on the back side of the front leg. Hey, hamstrings. I used you a lot for acro yoga last night. Woo. All right, and we're kind of just listening, right? That's a conversation that we're having with our bodies. So you're kind of like just listening for what it has to say. It's gonna tell you some stuff. Like it knows what you did. So inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale to fold and hinge at your hips. Inhale to lengthen. And exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen, ripple the length up your spine. Exhale, fold. One more breath like this. And bending that front knee. And we'll reach both elbows down towards the ground, right next to the front foot. Breathing and releasing here in this lunge. Feeling how this kind of feels different maybe today than it does other days. Feeling how this side feels different from the other side maybe. Breathe and release. One more breath. And we're coming up onto the hands. Take the same side hand to the knee. Press into the knee and twist through your spine, starting at the base and moving all the way up to your neck, looking with your head, looking with your eyes. And if you'd like to try to take it to the next, you can take your opposite elbow and push it into your knee and reach your free arm back for the wall or for your foot. Really continue pressing your elbow into your knee to twist deeper and deeper. Feeling into the space of this twist, feeling into your body, interocepting, and inhale to unwind. Coming back to the front, straightening out that front leg. And folding over that straight front leg. Feeling that deep stretch through the whole back side of your leg. All right, and then we make our way back onto ground again. Legs go up, arms go up, seaweed. Whew. Give it a stretch, and then we'll come on up. Moving through some vinyasa. So we'll move through our sun salutation B, which uses fierce pose, which is has a chair pose in it, a fierce pose in it, which is from knees pointing forward and mountain. We bend the knees, sink the hips, and lift the arms up and overhead. So we'll ground the tailbone so that we're not bending through the back. So this would be a different pose. Instead, we ground the tailbone and lengthen through the spine, reaching the crown of the head up towards the ceiling and looking up with the eyes, and then bend the knees and sink the hips down. Squeeze, and then we're gonna add traction here. So spread your feet apart on the mat, like you're trying to drag the mat apart from itself. You're just trying to drag your feet apart, but there's internal resistance, and there's also resistance from the ground, and that should be helping you to engage the whole outside line and back line of your legs. Feel your belly button move in towards your spine as you engage your core. A little bit of lift in the sternum. Add that tiny back bend at the top. And on your next exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift your spine. Exhale, back to plank. You can step or float. And we'll lower down through chaturanga, push-up position. You can use your knees. Upward facing dog. Balance on the tops of your toes. And downward facing dog. Here we're gonna take tabletop position and we're gonna use the block. So the block is gonna go between the heel and the butt here in tabletop, and we're just gonna lift the block leg combo up and back for 10. Really finding that stack, shoulders over hands, knee, hips over knee, and then we're just lifting the leg up and back, keeping it in alignment so the knee points straight back. As you lift and lower, squeezing that leg. We're working those hamstrings. Everything has a gentle tone. We've got a nice core engagement throughout the whole body. Ten on each side. So maybe it's time to switch. Block goes in the thut and in the heel, like below the or above the heel. And up and back for 10. Squeeze those legs. Just another rep, and let's go to the other side. Make sure you've done an even amount. We'll take the leg out to the side now with the whole block in the heel slash thut situation. So everything needs to be super engaged, and we're just taking this knee out to the side for 10. Squeeze your core, stack your joints. Breathe slow, steady, and smooth in and out of your nose. The slower you go, the more intense, right? All right. Other side. Out to the side. Keep breathing. Keep stacking your joints, pulling your muscles in towards your bones. It's good to look out a couple of feet in front of you, just so that you don't collapse. Okay, we want to stay nice and expansive. Really feeling into the space of this engagement. Noticing in. And relax. Whew. Almost take a second. Feel into your body and just notice. Yeah, notice what we just did. Let's do a little bit of wrist care. So I like to just grab my wrist and gently pull. Not so much that you would dislocate, right? Just a little squeeze and a little pulling away, and just kind of giving your wrists a little massage, your hands a little massage, just some squeezes. Our bodies really just want to know that we care. They're like puppies. And let's make some circles with the wrists, breathing slow, steady, and smooth. And now going the other way. All right, check it out. So we'll take downward facing dog. Have your hands at least shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. And lift your hips up. And we're gonna take big hip circles, okay? So we're gonna go toe towards head, knee out to the side, and then nose towards knee. We've done this before a lot in our tabletop position, but now we're kind of taking it up a level and we're doing it in down dog. So we're just making circles with the hip, and now we're gonna take the circles the other way. So they're gonna go knee out to the side, toe towards head, and knees towards chin. Knee out to the side, toe towards head, knee towards chin. So we'll just make a few of these rounds, and then let's switch legs. Toe towards head, knee out to the side, nose towards knee. Keep going in this circle for another couple of rounds. Really feeling into the whole rotation of it, that whole circle of the hips. And then we go out to the side, knee out to the side, toe towards head, nose towards knee. Again, just circles the other way, a couple more. Awesome. And coming back, you can walk it out, pedal it out a little bit, back to downward facing dog. All right, so now we're taking leg up and back, and really find your one-legged downward facing dog here. We want hips to be even to each other, but I want you to play with this. So pressing into one hand and then into the other hand, and then pressing your chest back towards your thigh, lifting that leg up and back, and then throwing energy through that lifted leg. Really pointing your toe and pushing energy through your leg. You're going to come up onto the grounded legs, ball of the foot, and then slowly lower it back down. Coming into releve and lowering it back down. Feel your glutes as you do this. Releve and lower. Keep going. Let's do 5 more. You've got this. Keep going. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thigh. Awesome. All right. And then we lower it down. Whew. And you can pedal it out. Sway your hips from side to side. Move through your spine. Whatever feels good in down dog. And then we'll go for the other side. Lift the other leg up and back. Even hips. Press into one hand and then into the other hand. Really pressing your chest back towards your thigh. We're deepening, right? Really feeling into the back side of the leg, of the grounded leg. All right, and now really putting energy through your lifted leg. Pointing that toe, squeezing those thighs, and then we're coming up into releve and lowering back down slowly for 10. Keep breathing and keep lifting your upper leg more and more, but keep your hips even-ish, right? We're playing a game between leg lifted and even hips. Keep breathing and lifting your heel up and down and squeezing your legs. Press your chest back towards your thigh. Keep going and relax. Release your leg back down. Pedal it out. You did awesome. Okay, let's find some stillness in downward facing dog. Press your chest back towards your thighs. Lengthen out through the back sides of both legs. And then we'll come to all fours. Let's go for rock pose for a moment. Taking good care of our wrists. Shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. Whew, nice work. That's intense, right? Because this is my favorite. We're gonna feel it tomorrow too. Make sure you drink lots of water. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll play with moving from one-legged downward facing dog into splits. Okay, so let's come from splits. Let's go ahead and you can use your blocks if you'd like. And let's go for a lunge here real quick. So lunge, just to get into those hips. That is a pelvis tipped forward kind of thing, right? We're tipping the pelvic bowl forward. We're pouring all the cereal out onto the mat forward. And then straighten that front leg, half monkey. Just a little bit of maybe rotation through your hip joint. And then we'll move into our splits. From splits, we take the hands to the ground right beside the front knee, flex the back foot, and then lift the back hips up. I like to hop my back foot a little bit forward as I do this and slide the leg through to one-legged downward facing dog. From here, then we come up into releve with the standing leg. Slide that leg through to the front. I have to come up onto my fingertips of the same side hand and flex that bottom foot that's coming through in order to get it through. Okay, so what you could do, just to practice, is you could have your hands on blocks right next to the knee, flex the back foot, lift the hips up, hop the back foot forward a little bit, slide that leg through into one-legged downward facing dog, chest reaches back towards the thigh, and then coming back through to split, then we glide, so we come up into releve, glide that foot forward, chest kind of slides forward a little bit, maybe even come up onto the fingers on the same side hand as the leg that's coming through. That's a lot. You can totally unmute anytime to ask questions. And I'll even come up and see how everyone's doing. Let me show it on the other side real quick, just so you can get another angle. So we're in splits. We're pouring our weight into our hands. Hands are right next to either side of the knee. We're flexing that back foot, lifting the hips up, jump the back foot forward a little bit, slide the leg through to one-legged downward facing dog, press chest back towards thigh, come up into releve with the standing leg. The chest comes forward a little bit. Slide that leg forward, come up onto same side fingertips, and I have to actually wiggle my back foot a little bit to find stability in that back foot as I'm sliding the front leg into split. So let me see how you guys are doing. Yes, good. And you have to make some space, right? So you might come up onto your fingertips, Rachel. Yeah, you got it. Awesome. Good, Anna. Yeah, I love how you guys are finding the little nuances, right? Like, oh, this leg needs to be further back or whatever. And we can slide into those positions. We can really just make those adjustments as we need to for our different body shapes and the different geometries, right? So let's try to, again, like at least one more time on each side, yeah? Looks good. From split, we pour hands into the sides of the knees, flex the back foot, lift the hips up, and then glide the leg back, pushing hands into the ground, taking chest back. And then to come back through, we come into releve,
slide the leg forward, slide the chest forward. That hip has to lift a lot, right? So like as I'm sliding my leg forward, my hip is actually higher than my standing leg hip, right? So I'm like coming through and I'm like actually hiking my hip up so I can come through. So these are the little hacks, right? This is the stuff that we don't really necessarily see when we're looking at these things happen. We're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But like, we're actually maneuvering the body. It doesn't actually fit geometrically unless we kind of make it fit, right? So as I'm bringing my leg through, I'm making space by coming up onto my fingertips, keeping my hip really high, and that's what allows me to get through with the leg. All right, so we did the thing. We didn't do the other side lunge though, but we're gonna go into some lunge stuff here. So you can grab a strap, and we'll start with the opposite side from the one that we already did. And I'm not sure if I have the right strap here, but you can use, I think you can pretty much use any strap. What we want to do is take the deepest lunge that we can find in our bodies, take the strap around the ankle, and then use it to create a back bend. And so we're really feeling we want to feel a lot of grounding through the front leg, and then a lot of bend in the back. So we want to create stability through the hips, pushing them down towards the ground. And I'm actually externally rotating through my front foot a little bit. Move the block so I don't even think you can see it, but it's like I'm screwing in a light bulb to the external side. So like I've got my left foot forward, I'm turning my foot into the ground to the left, like I'm screwing in a light bulb with my foot, just to ground in and to stabilize through that front foot. So finding a back bend in our lunge can look a lot of different ways. You don't have to have a strap. You could use just your hands on blocks and keep taking the blocks lower and lower, reaching your foot for your head until you get your hands to the ground. Yeah, so let's play with this for another 2 breaths. And then straighten out the front leg, wiggle through that hip, juice it up. Find some lightness in your legs here because they were just really engaged very intensely. Wiggle it out. Juice up the hips side to side. Oh. And then we're dragging the heel back towards the hips. So the front leg hip, I want it to move backwards. Drag it back so you can really feel the length on the back side of your leg. Drag it back and then push your back knee, push it forward, squaring up the hips. All right, let's come back into rock pose. We'll shake out the wrists. So let's take the thumbs to the fingernails and spray the water. And then shake the hands out. And I like these fists and then jazz hands. Fists and jazz hands. Just a little bit of movement. All right, and then we'll go for the other side. So come forward to your lunge. You can take your strap, take it around your ankle, and we want to go like elbows up, right? Ultimately, and that could be that you're grabbing your foot, or you could be grabbing your strap like that, but ultimately we're moving from kind of reaching back and grabbing with that serving tray and then moving the elbow to point up. Stabilizing with that front leg, screwing the foot into the ground. Yeah, hips are down as far as they'll go. And then we're grabbing with the strap, or we're using blocks, but we really want to stabilize through the whole lower body, right? Find some internal resistance and some deep engagement through this whole bottom part of the body, but at the same time, we're really kind of riding a wave, right? So we have to be willing to have it move a little bit. It's gonna move a little bit, but willing to find some stability inside of the movement. So keep breathing and finding your toe to head and lunge, whatever that looks like, toe towards head and lunge. It looks however it looks, and just keep that stretch going for another about 3 breaths. Opening your whole back body, or whole front body, right? So imagine that you've got your strings attached to all your vertebrae, and they're pulling forward. All this puppet strings. Pulling you forward all the way up to your sternum, shining your sternum up towards the ceiling. Reaching your head for your toe. And then straighten out that front leg. And fold. We can pull the heel back towards the hips. And traction. And then push that back knee forward. Inhale to lengthen through your spine, and exhale to fold. All right. So do some standing stuff. Let's see, maybe we bring our strap with us. So let's go for our shake, our Qigong, my favorite Qigong move. Oh my gosh, it feels so good after doing all that stuff with your wrists. Just shake into your heels and let the whole upper body just fractal. Feeling all of your tension drain out of your arms, drip out of your fingertips. Shake, shake, shake. Whew. All right, and so we'll play with the yoga pose called Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. You're gonna ground into your standing leg, and you can use your strap if you want to, or you're gonna grab your big toe. So you're gonna either strap your foot or grab your big toe, whichever is accessible. And then we're here with hand on hip, finding a gazing point, something that's not moving. And a lot of times it's a more stable place to be staring at the ground, pretty far out in front of you. And breathe, press your hip flexor forward, squeeze your glutes, pull your belly button in towards your spine. Send those roots down into the ground with your imagination. Ground into the corners of your feet. And breathe. And we'll take the leg off to the side. And breathe. You can look the direction opposite your leg if you want to challenge. Still finding that drishti, that gazing point. Breathing slow, steady, and smooth. Okay, and then bringing the leg in. Let's see if we can kiss the shin. Nice. Shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. And other side. Take the leg out front. Grab it with the strap. Grab it with the big toe. Whatever feels good. Hand on hip. Find that drishti, that gazing point. And breathe.
And then take that leg out to the side. Maybe look the other way. Round into that standing leg. Breathe. Drawing all of your muscles in towards your bones. And then bring your leg back into the center. See if you can kiss your shin. All right. Goddess. Knees track out over toes. Straighten the legs. And strong woman arms. Strong person arms. Inhale, X shape. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, engage. Couple more like this. And turn your toes in towards each other. Outside edges of the feet parallel to each other, hands on hips. And forward fold, hinge at your hips. Reach the crown of your head down towards the ground. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Reach your elbows together. Reach your shoulders away from your ears. We're gonna take a middle split. So just take as middle of a split as you can get to. You can also, use your frog. So either way, if you're gonna be frog, you want your hips directly between your knees. If you're in middle splits, you want your hips between your feet. And we're gonna take some breaths here. Slow, steady, smooth breaths, focusing on the inhale, focusing on the exhale. Squeeze your whole body as you focus on the inhale and on the exhale, but especially your glutes and your thighs. Squeeze and breathe. Squeeze and breathe. And notice if there's any shaking or what's going on in there, but continue that engagement. And keep breathing and focusing on your breath. Squeeze and breathe. Squeeze and breathe. And now we'll take some breaths with relaxation. Completely relax your whole body and making sure that you're safe, right? So if you're needing to use your arms to continue to stabilize, then keep your arms strong, but everything else is relaxing as much as it can. For another breath. And then we're squeezing again. Squeeze your legs. We're squeezing the knees into the ground or the feet into the ground, like you're trying to squeeze the ground, like you're trying to pull your legs together. Your legs should really feel engaged and toned. A couple more breaths here. Squeezing everything. Squeeze, 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 and breathe. And relax. Couple breaths. You got this. All right, and we're coming out of it. Woo! Okay. Let's come into straddle. We'll lift one leg up off the ground and straddle. You can have your hands on either side, working with those hip flexors. Couple more. Other side. Squeeze your legs and lift. You can externally rotate your legs. Turn your knees back behind you. Squeeze all of your muscles in towards your center line and towards your bones.
Couple more, you got this. And now we're gonna lift both. We'll see what happens, right? It might just be that you're engaging your legs, that's fine. Lifting both, you can have your hands behind or in front, whatever feels good. We're trying to really squeeze the legs wide as we lift. Keep squeezing, a couple more. Awesome, nice work. Okay, so we'll bend one knee and then we're rolling towards that shin into pigeon pose. Now walk your heel away from your hips as much as it'll go, and we're pulsing, open hip towards the ground. Pulse, pulse. Go as slow as you need to, because sometimes we're moving through hamstrings that are tight, right? So we need to be honoring, be introspective, be noticing in to your hamstrings and what's going on in there, and really make sure that you're creating a positive environment for your body as you're moving through. And we're pulsing and moving back to straddle. Squeeze your straddle, lift your heels up off the ground, push your knees down into the ground. Bend your other side leg. Roll your hips towards your shin. On this other side, heel toe your foot away from your hip. And roll your thigh down towards the ground. Keep pulsing that open hip down towards the ground and breathing and going as slow or as fast as your body tells you to. Breathing slow, steady, smooth, rhythmical breaths. And then we come back to straddle and bend the first knee. We're gonna take the same kind of action that we did with the lunge, a little bit more relaxed here. So take your full expression of your pigeon pose, and then you might want to have, so like I don't take my full flexibility with the front leg here. I bring my heel back a little bit so that I can have it be more stable. So find your stable, most flexible position, and then you can grab your ankle, bend your knee and grab your ankle with your strap. And then we're grabbing with the serving tray again, right? Palm open, elbow down, and then we turn the elbow up towards the ceiling. And see about grabbing with both hands and then turning the whole chest forward and opening the whole front body from there. So again, we're imagining that each vertebrae has a string tied to the back of it, and the string's coming out front. We're pulling each vertebrae forward all the way up to the top. So if you have any questions, you can unmute and let me know. Looks good. So we've done a lot to really engage through the hips and the legs as we've been working tonight. So hopefully it feels really stable. That's what we're really going for. And maybe it feels some wobbly because we're kind of exhausted a little bit at this point, but hopefully you can feel that strength that we've cultivated as well. So let's come back into straddle. Bend the second side knee, turn the hips towards that leg, that shin, heel toe out a little bit. Find your most stable pigeon, right? Maybe a little bit less than your full expression, your full flexibility, just so that you can find deep stability. Take your strap around your ankle, and you might flex at your toes to keep your strap on, or you might flex at your ankle, right? So it's kind of up to you what you decide to do there. But we're grabbing like a serving tray with a palm open, and then we're turning the elbow up towards the ceiling and turning the whole chest towards the front knee, right?
So not only are we turning towards the front leg, we want to keep going even more and turn all the way to the front. So you can try to see about grabbing with both arms. And if you have a longer strap, that's a lot easier, right? Because your arms can be straight up overhead. And then we think about the strings pulling from the vertebrae forward at every point, really opening through the entire front body, lifting the sternum towards the ceiling, squeezing the base of support, squeezing the legs, and opening through the chest. Squeezing the whole back body, squeeze, 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 and look up. So making sure that you feel like you've done an even kind of thing on both sides, right? And then we'll go into our cool down process. Legs and arms up in the air, seaweed. I think this is like a pole move or something. I like to really juice up the hips here and like wiggle out the thighs. Does anybody know what this is called? Rachel, do you know what this is? When you rotate your hips.
Is it like a variation of clapping your cheeks?
It's clapping. That's what it is. It feels so good after doing all this stuff. Thank you.
You can do it standing up too. If you like stand with your legs kind of hip width apart and then you wiggle from your ankles and it'll go all the way up.
Yeah, I've totally tried that, but I'm not good at it at all. Maybe I'll have to hit you up for a lesson. But yeah, this like laying down to me is easy. It's a little bit easier because you're just like internally and externally rotating your legs, and then you're just kind of going with the flow of like the wave and the the clap, right? So anyways, I like that one a lot. Let's pulse past the toes. 420. Crunches. Squeeze your core. We have to reestablish core balance here, right? You can probably feel some intensity in your back from all the bending. So we're reestablishing a neutral spine by engaging the core. The more you can take the momentum out of it, the more strength building it is. Very hard though. Couple more, you got this. We did a lot of back bends. Awesome, nice work. Woo! And then we'll cross one leg over the other and twist and relax into your twist. You can look in the direction opposite your knees. And then bring your knees up, uncross, cross the other way, and twist. Breathing slow, steady and smooth. Feeling into the space of your body, noticing in. Notice the sensations. Whew. Give yourself a little body scan here. Let's roll back onto the ground. Stretch out. Feel into the space of your toes. Into your ankles and thighs, or legs and thighs, into your hips, into your back. Notice any sensations or qualities of sensations that you feel. Does it feel warm or cool? Is there any tightness? Does it feel loose? Is it light or heavy? Just noticing. Notice into your breath. Is there roughness or smoothness? Is it more dry or more liquid? Just feeling in and noticing all the different parts to the sensations that you're feeling. Noticing any movement of energy in your arms, any sensations in your hands or fingertips, into the space of your neck and into your head. Notice into the space of your face and now into your whole body. And take a deep breath and relax with a sigh. And another deep breath. And a sigh. And one more breath. And sigh it out. And take your hands together. Bend your knees, lift your legs, rub your feet together, rub your hands together. Rub them more, rub them vigorously. And rock and roll up to seated. And I want to thank you for coming today and sharing in splits with back bends with me. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Tree.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming.
Of course. See you soon.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Bree. See you next time.
You're welcome. See you next week. Bye.